Hi everyone, I'm Miss Sitaram from Sparkling Memories, a place where you can build healthy relationship with food, parents, and yourself. And today's topic, what we're actually going to talk about is things that you would like to tell your younger self. Now that you're older and you know a lot better and you study things and you know things now, versus before when you didn't know much and you're probably unexperienced. I know a few things I like to tell myself. I'm pretty sure you do too. The first thing I want to tell my younger self is be patient. You are adult a lot longer than when you're a kid. You're a kid for a time, and then being an adult is a long time. And if you're lucky, you might get back into being a kid, as far as like seniors that need help. So you're adult a lot longer than when you are a child. So be patient. Another thing I would like to tell my younger self, probably if I ever could, I would say money is important. So save it. Because as an adult, you have to pay for everything, okay? Your apartment, your car, your schooling, unless you plan to go from high school straight into college and you got a scholarship. Otherwise, you're going to pay out of pocket. Whether it be your medical insurance, and even if you do have a job, you take it out of your wages in order to get that type of insurance from your employer, right? Then you also have, if you go to college, do it directly after you finish high school. Don't take a late period like a year, two, and just chill. No. After you graduate from high school, go straight into college. Whether or not you have a scholarship or you apply for financial aid, if you could actually go to a community college or a regular college or some type of university, that is your best bet. And if you don't even go to university, try going to a vocational school. Take up some type of trade. And even with those trades, you could always switch. Like, you could take up more than one trade. You don't have to stick with one depending on where the place is, because some people, they don't allow you to switch, and other places they do. Like a community college might allow you to switch. But if you go to a particular school in terms of vocational, it might not allow you to switch. Another thing I like to tell my younger self is find a career. Okay? Do not get comfortable with just having a job. You can have a job and go to school on the side in order to get that career, because a lot of these careers it deserves something much more than just your high school diploma, depending on the career, because people can actually advance based on experience, and they can actually get an opportunity to be in one of those training programs, because there are a lot of places that now their training programs are training to be a manager or training to another level. Especially if you've been there for a long time, you could do that too. You don't have to actually be in one spot and then be like, oh, I'll be here forever. No. You start out as a cashier and you could end up being the store manager. With the right time and effort, you could be just about anything you want to be. Okay? Another thing I want to like to tell my younger self is please identify who are temporary people. I'm talking about people you know fully well, they ain't going to be with you the long run. The people who are going to use you and try to abuse you, and there are people who are good-hearted, and there are people who are just not in your best interest. They're there for a season and a reason. Might be a give and take, and not necessarily giving you anything and taking all the time. Okay? So that's one thing I would love to have told my younger self. So I could avoid a whole bunch of different situations that I had no business being in. You know? Another thing, if you see a narcissist, run like you're going out of style. I mean, run. Because guess what? When you deal with a narcissist, oh my goodness, it is so much drama. I can't even begin to discuss how much. That deserves a whole nother video when you're dealing with a narcissist. Especially if you identify them as a narcissist as yet, and you have to deal with their mood swing and their different activities, like they get multiple personality kind of vibe. You might want to deal with that first and identify who was a narcissist, and when you do, run like you're going out of style. Run. Okay? Another thing I would like to tell my younger self is you're not perfect, and you need to realize that you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be everything at once. You're going to be one particular person, and if you have multiple things that you're working on, that you have mastered, getting yourself to a point where you can multitask. Focus on one thing at a time. It is not hard to do. It's just something that you have to prioritize what is more important to you and what could be on the wayside. Like, okay, I'll deal with that later. you know, I'll come back to that. You know what I mean? I'll come back. Now, another thing I would like to have told my younger self, there are good times and there are bad times, and there are times where there's a gray section, where it's a transitional phrase. Everything is not forever, but certain things last a lot longer, and it can be very irritating in terms of getting from where you want to be and where you currently are, and that's okay. Ain't nobody has a straight line and they've been in a straight line and nothing may happen. Life has consequences. Life has decision making. Things happen. Things don't go as planned. And guess what? You might not be able to deal with that level of it didn't happen. So what's next? You will have setbacks. And there will come things that come natural to you. And it doesn't take much time or effort. And you have other things that will be like, oh my goodness. Really? So long? This is how long it will take? Really? So there are different ways it happens. But to tell my younger self that would have been really nice. Another thing I want to tell myself, my younger self, is not to worry so much. It is not the end of the world when you don't get what you want in the time frame that you want. And yes, there are going to be times that's going to happen. It is not the end of the world if you get a pimple on your face, because as you age, they call something called age spots, the older folks that call it. Because I know you guys gonna laugh, but that's okay. The first time I got my first pimple, I was screaming and I would look in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And yes, to tell my younger self, it is not that serious. That would have been fun for me to actually know, because as you get older, you have to take care of your skin. It's not just about what you eat and what you put into your system. It's about what kind of cleanses and stuff you do to your face. It's how your face is going to look. Because there's several anti-aging stuff. It is not going to be the end of the world. And yes, you at some point in your life, you're going to start looking like somebody else that's in your family. And guess what? It's okay. Another thing I want to tell myself is prayer always works. It's going to work today, it's going to work tomorrow, and it's going to work next week. Because prayer works in mysterious ways. Prayer isn't just something that you do once in a blue moon. Prayer is something that you could do constantly, and God is always listening to what you're saying. He might not do things on time, but he will do things on the right time, which might not be your time or my time. So I already figured that part out. But if my younger self, oh my goodness, I'd be like, oh my God, this didn't happen, and we're going to do A, B, and C, and it didn't work. Oh my God, what happened? Like, going right back and telling myself, it is not that serious. Another thing I would like to tell my younger self, and this is probably the last thing, is some people master playing victim. Okay? They get people who out here that ain't about nothing and they try to do nothing. Okay? And guess what? They're going to see you try and make something of yourself, and they're going to come to you and they're going to tell you all the sweet things in your ear. And they're going to be different people. Yes, maybe as a female, I would think you're a guy, but you'll have females out here too that are going to hate on you. Hate is something that they have and they possess and they deal with constantly. If you have not experienced this, then that's great. But being an adult, you experience racism at some point in your lifetime. You're going to have people who are going to overstep, and then you have to bring them back to reality and tell them, okay, take a late chill pill because it is not serious. And you got to wheel and bring it back, because you don't cross a line, and now I got to tell you what it is. Okay? So being a kid is one thing, being an adult is someplace completely different. Because when you're an adult and you do things and there's witnesses and cameras and people who identify what you did, when you did it and there's evidence, they could go to jail. So, as a kid, you might go to juvenile center and understand all of that. But jail is a much more serious thing. Because once you're in jail, guess what? When you come back out and try again to walk and thing, and they bring up a police report, well, I don't know what happened after that, because I ain't a part of that vibe, so I can't tell you what happened after that. But I've heard that people have a hard time getting into jobs, getting into different things when it comes to having a record. I am not familiar with that, so I can't help you with that. But I do know people talk about expunging things and things of that nature. So till next time, this is Miss Tiran from Sparkling Memories. Today we had been talking about what would I want to tell my younger self, me being an adult at this time.